Hi, I had to redo this because my voiceover was terrible, so there's a little bit at the bottom. I apologize, but I'm trying, I'm learning. This is a new thing for me, and I'm working on it, and it's all a learning curve. That's what everything is. So I'm sticking with it, and I'm going to do my best, and next time it won't be so bad. But anyway, let's get into the shopping. This was the first Merritt Island store. I'm sorry, the only Merritt Island store, but this was the first Ollies that we went to. It's on Merritt Island, and they had these really beautiful things. They did have a dollar table. This was on the dollar table. These would be great for a whole bunch of different items and different crafting things. These little pads of papers with the magnets on the back, they were super cute. And like I said, this was a dollar table. And look at these beautiful little sunflower stickers that they had. Really cute, really adorable. And they were much better in person because they had a little bit of a texture to them. This was probably the best buy that we found at this Merritt Island store. Still a dollar. And look right here, you're getting a entire 12 by 12 scrapbooking album with plastic pages on the inside. It was so cool. And there goes one right into my cart because, of course, I bought one for myself. And this was also a dollar. A glue pad from Michaels. This is the Recollections brand, and it comes with a re-inker. And I don't know if there's any glue already on the pad, but you've got I guess it's a re-gluer, actually. Beautiful little stickers, more of them. It's, again, a slight little bit of a texture to them. Not a whole lot, but really beautiful. Another set of stickers, letters. They were the same size as the first set. Beautiful iridescence. Great for a science fair project, even. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you could do with these wonderful stickers. And this was an amazing find. I love polymer clay. That's one of my fortes. And this was a 2-pack of texture. And they had a boatload of them. Look at all of them in those boxes right there. Unfortunately, they were all the same textures that I found. If there was a different texture, I didn't see it. And look at all those glue pads. And this, oh my goodness, I had to buy 3 of these. This is a set of stickers. And you can see the black ones right there, but they're not just black. It also comes with gold and silver in the same package. Oh my goodness gracious. There's like 780 something stickers in here, and it was great. And yeah, I had to buy 3 of these for $1. That's an amazing price. Stretched canvas over a wooden frame, another great buy because these are, $1 and you get an 8 by 10 stretched canvas, which is a great price for people who do any sort of arts or crafts or fine art that needs a canvas. Little boy stickers. There wasn't a set of girl stickers, so this store only had the boy ones. I'm sure somewhere out there's the matching girl one, but we didn't see it in any of the stores that we went to today, and we went to 3. Really cute little fantasy stickers, little rainbows with beautiful little fantasy creatures. These didn't have as much texture as the other ones did, but still very beautiful. Now we're in the stationery aisle, and this right here is a set of watercolor paints, and I don't know if this came from the closeout or if this came from another buyout that Ollie's did at some other point in time. So it was really cool to see these. And sorry. So this is also another one. This is just a little portable watercolor tin, and it came with a little brush and everything if you want to take that with you. So a great big bottle of tempera paint. I was just impressed by the size of the bottle. And this is a cool thing for kids. They're great big chunky things that fit well into small hands, and they're easily manipulated, and they're just neon markers, neon paint markers. And I thought those were kind of cool. So I thought I'd put them in this video. This is an art set. It's got pencils and a pencil sharpener and eraser. Stick that with the watercolor. Have a sketchbook with you. You're all set to go if you just wander around and want to make some art underneath a tree or something. I really liked these as well. I didn't buy any of these. They had several of them, but it was a really cool little kit for, a rainy day kind of thing. And they had that carousel, and they have this, really pretty tiger, and there's the unicorn. That was my favorite. I don't know if this is a good buy or not. I thought it was really pretty, and it's a pretty large chunky piece of wood, a nice little wood slice there, but I don't know if $5 is a good price for this. So, and sometimes I remember to say the price. I noticed I haven't really said it much up to this point. $3 for a really huge roll of Cricut vinyl, and it's actually the name brand Cricut vinyl. That was not a bad price. And they have this green, and the Merritt Island store also had a couple rolls of the blue, but those were the only 2 colors of this vinyl that I saw at the Merritt Island store. Sewing notions. I understand that there's a huge sewing community out there. For some reason, I didn't get the sewing bug, but I thought I'd present what they had as far as sewing notions go, so that you can see what they had and, decide whether or not it's worth it to you. Those of you who do yarn, oh my goodness gracious, $5 for these chunky, soft blanket yarn skeins. Oh my goodness, such a great price. And they had a pretty good selection of colors. Not great, but I mean, for a closeout store, that's pretty good. So I thought I'd showcase all the different colors and styles that they had. That's the pile of the vinyl that I was talking about. And there they had one of these, just one. I know Karam is a pretty good brand, but I don't know anything else. So those of you who know, you're now in the know. More sewing notions. Really cool to have these and really great to look at. And I thought it was really cool. It came with bobbins. I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't. So more vinyl, shorter sheet, but this one's only $2 instead of $3. And there were a lot more different colors of this. And you'll see when I put it back in the box that all the different colors that they had. And this box is the one that had the 2 rolls of the blue Cricut vinyl. So there's that blue Cricut vinyl that I was talking about. Again, it's $3 for this great big huge roll, and that's a really good buy. I don't think that that can really be beat anywhere else right now. Again, this is the Merritt Island store. So if you're in Florida and you're around here and you see something that you'd be interested in, this is where it is. This is that cellophane wrap that you wrap around gifts or baskets or things like that. They had a whole bunch of those. And this is a bunch of wire racks and wire organizing things that they had. And I thought this was really cool because the one that I point out here, I do a lot of wet stuff like acrylic and watercolor and alcohol inks. And this would be a great way to dry each one individually and not have to worry about having a whole lot of space to dry them. I thought that was pretty cool. So if you're looking for something like that, that's right there for you. They did have a couple of these paper packs. I didn't pick these up because it's not a color that I see myself using very often. But like I said, there were a couple of them, maybe 2 in the store. And so they might still be there. They might not. I don't know. They had one of these. I did not pick it up again because I am looking for the double-sided paper, and this was just single-sided, but it was a really good price for a great big pack of paper like this. So something to think about if you're interested in something like that. They also had this book, and I only found one of these. Again, there's a lot of really beautiful papers, but I have a lot of paper, and I still managed to pick up some more paper in the other 2 stores that we were in. But this is a poster set that you can use for stenciling for on posters, like for a science fair project or some sort of project or diorama that somebody has to do for school, because those are still a thing. Cute little cross-stitch kits. Ignore the thing at the top. That was from the original one that messed up. Thank you so much, everybody who's watching and participating in my channel. I really, really appreciate you. You have no idea. These gel pens were amazing. They are beautiful. I did not buy them, and they had a whole lot of them, but I did not buy a set for myself because I have so many gel pens already. I just don't need to buy any more. So, it's one of those things. After a while, you've got so much arts and crafts stuff. And I know I'm preaching to the choir to several of you on that one. Beautiful sets of scissors. I really like the handles on this pair, and it was a Fiskars. I thought the handle was really cool looking, and it was the only pair that I saw like that. For cake decorating and cookie decoration, there's one of the items that they had here, but the other 2 stores, the ones in Melbourne, oh my goodness gracious, they had so much cake decorating stuff and so much baking decorating stuff. This pad of paper is a self-adhesive. I did not pick it up. She was putting out a whole box of it, but it wasn't anything that I wanted. Right here, you've got those little, doodly, what's it called? Oh, somebody put in the comment what it's called, because my brain's not coming up with it, but where you do the little doodly thing, there's a specific name for it, but it was a cute little pack. Again, did not pick it up, do not need any more of those. I did pick up 2 of these. This was beautiful, 12 by 12 set of cardstock, and it's a paper pad, 48 sheets, I think. Beautiful. They're textured, and they're more deeply textured on one side than they are on the other, and they're gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Those are vibrant and amazing and happy and cheerful and chipper, and I love them so much. So I picked up 2 of these pads. She was opening the box and putting them out, so there might still be some there. This is glitter glue that I'm sorry, you know what to do with it. I don't need to explain it to you, but this is glitter glue. It was the only one that I found. I left it behind. And I also left this behind. This is a great big set of paints, and really useful for crafting and whatever you want to do with them. I mean, it was a really nice thing. In fact, if you wanted to put these paints with the little tin and the little box that had the little pencil in it, that would be really cool to take with your journal and go relax under a tree and just journal and, create art. That was self-explanatory. I talked too long. This is face paint. And I don't do face paint, but I mean, if anybody needs face paint, I thought this might be a pretty good price. This was a great price on these Crayola markers. A really cool, really nice set of Crayola markers there's 120 markers in here, and they talk about how the tips are. There's something special about the tips, super tips. I have no idea what that means, but look at the box, see for yourself. You can see the price. I loved these. Oh my gosh. They had so many of these, but I only bought one because I really couldn't decide whether or not I would ever use it in my card making, but I had to pick up a pack. I absolutely had to. I might just decorate my emotional support water bottle with these. But there they are. You can see all the different pictures of them. They are just so cute and so vibrant. I love them. This was the last box that she was opening before we left because we wanted to get to the other stores too. I did not pick this up. I did not pick up any of these. They're really pretty papers. Don't get me wrong, but it's not my style. So I left them behind for someone who would appreciate them and use them because that would be cool. The last thing that we saw before we left has nothing to do with crafts. These were $10 each and beautiful blankets, really soft, really fuzzy. They were really great. Gorgeous. I love these little foxes. But here I am showing you the price tag. They're $10. And if you look at the front, I believe that these were 60 by 80 or 60 by 90, something like that. But you'll see the sticker on the front that says it. And they're nice little fall patterns. And they also have some Halloween patterns. And I loved the colors on this one. I really did. I thought that one was just gorgeous. The plaid was really nice. The little fall plaid, some leaves, witches, and then you got your pumpkins. And then you got this one that has the little kitty cats on it. Oh my God, they're so cute. But I did not pick any of these up, kind of Florida thing. And I already have somewhat of an addiction to blankets. And we live in Florida and we don't need the ones that we already have. If you wanted to buy one, I would pick these up instead while they still have them because these are actually 10 inches larger in one of the dimensions and still for the same price. So I would personally go for these first over the other ones. But if these are gone, the other ones are still a great buy and they're still beautiful. Make a great gift, whatever you wanted to do with them. So there's the examples of the ones that they had left of that. And then we went from here to the first Melbourne store, or maybe the only Melbourne store, because there were two stores. And this is one of the things about going to Ollies is I would have loved to have bought these shimmer papers, but they were gone when we got there. Oh, sad face. They had some of these little journals, and I just took a quick picture of them. You open it up, it's got lined paper. It's a journal. Everybody knows what a journal is, but they did have some really pretty covers. Again, I found a pack of this. This is at the Melbourne store that's in between the one in Merritt Island and the one south of Melbourne, if you look it up on a map. This was a great buy. This was amazing. This is a box of accoutrements and whatnots to make 20 different cards, but there's no reason that, if you're a paper crafter, there's no reason that these have to stay together. You could use these for scrapbooking. You could use these in different cards. You can use them as die cuts for card making or whatever you wanted to use them for because there's so many of them. You could even decoupage them onto a piece of furniture that you're remodeling. That would be really cool too. Fimo, and I okay. I do Fimo. Okay, it was a little contrived that time. It was natural the first time I did it. I just wanted to keep with it. Anyway, this is a really, really, really nice journal for taking those little supplies that I mentioned in the Merritt store. Beautiful paper in that one. And this is just an overview of some of the stuff that was in the stationery aisle. Really cool stuff. The glue said it smelled like strawberries. I did not open it. And here's the little bits of wood that they had in this store. Again, this is the Melbourne store. These metallic markers were $3. And a really nice little set. And this little Fiskars set was also a pretty good price for what you got. I didn't pick it up because it's not something I need, but I wanted to showcase the stuff that they had in case anybody was interested in seeing what they had and deciding whether or not a trip to Melbourne or a trip to Merritt Island would be worthwhile for them, or for you to just compare what we have here in Florida versus your area. Because these Ollies stores, everywhere there is one, they're just getting random pallets of stuff on trucks. So one store can have so much of one item and then another store has so much of another. So I'm just showcasing some of the little different items that you could get there. I did try to get the price tag in all of them because I realized there, and I'm following through now, that I probably wouldn't say all the prices while I was doing my voiceover. This is the start of some of the cake decorating and cookie decorating materials that they had. If you do acrylic pouring and you need pouring medium, that is a great price for a huge bottle. I think that was half a gallon. And then these canvases, they're nice and big and they're only $5. That's a great price. Back to the dollar table. This store also had a dollar table. This is the only other place I've seen the little stone looking stickers. They had this, which is a cute little thumb sticky pad. I don't really know what this is used for. I've never seen it before, but I thought I'd showcase it. Nice little pack of stickers. Great for embellishments and borders. And then there's these. And yes, some of them did fall out on the floor, but worry not. My husband was right there and he picked them right up and he put them right back into the box. So please don't be concerned. I don't do that. That's not my style. That is not the way I roll. But they did have these really beautiful little stickers, again, on the dollar table. And here I'm showing you a few of the other designs. And they had a rainbow one, and I don't know why I didn't get the rainbow one in the ones that I showed. Another one of those stencils for polymer clay. Again, the same one that I showed you in my first video, but they had a boatload of them, so they're all there. I just didn't find any other styles of them. And then these are the gold stickers. I found these in the Orlando stores, and I bought some there. I left those all behind. More vinyl. And again, a really good price for these rolls of vinyl, and they had a lot of really cool colors of them. I believe they were $2 a roll, which isn't bad for a roll of vinyl. And, you know, I'm not a Cricut person, but there are Cricut people out there. Cute little stencil rulers if you want to use them as a little gifty thing for if you do online selling and things like that, and you want to add a little gifty thing. More of those metallic markers for $3. So not everything on this table was $1. These little resin mix-ins are also really cool. Again, resin is not something I do, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with resin. And I had so much trouble finding a box of these where the sticker wasn't over the title. So there was a little bit of a jump there. And then I'm going to pull out two of them so you can see the whole front between the two of them, so that you can see what it says without having the sticker over every bit of it. So, and these were food grade. Obviously, they are made for food crafts and things like that. And I realized that as I'm listening to myself say this, I realized that I say things like that an awful lot. I'm so sorry. More cake decorating stuff. They had so much of this. These were so cute. I can't bake. I cook really well, but I cannot bake because I cannot follow a recipe. And if you mess with a recipe when you're baking, it just messes the whole thing up. So many of these sprinkles, so many different bottles, so many different colors, so many different shapes and styles, that if you need anything like this for anything that you do for like cake decorating, or if you have a baking business or a baking service, or you do it as a side job or anything, this was the place to go. Those were all $1 each. This was also $1 if you need a hexagon cookie cutter, and you know the big thing is still very popular. And again, these are all $1 for these bottles of sprinkles and stuff for baking and cake decorating. Really a really good price, I would assume. I mean, everything's a really good price. What can I say? And then I'm coming around the corner, you've got other items. And I thought these little sanding sugars, the colors of them were just so pretty. And for $1.49, that is just a really good price for them. Really cool. And I don't know if this set was a different set of colors or if it just showed a different side. I don't know. But this stuff was so inexpensive and it was so pretty. Look at those sprinkles. Look at that. For cake decorating, I mean, you can't go wrong. For a kid's birthday party or for a fun-loving adult's cake, perfect stuff. Absolutely perfect. And the quantity and the quantity that they had, look at the size of this bottle. This one was $2. This was more expensive than the other ones, but still, look at the size of the bottle. Look at the amount of sprinkles that you're getting in that bottle. That's just cray-cray, in my opinion, just cray-cray. These little sprinkles, they also had those. They were also $1. And then, do you want a cookie cutter of the United States of America? There it is, right there for you, ready to go. Those of you who do slime, here is a great buy on some slime glue, this clear glue. It's like $8 for that great big gallon. And I just thought this was the cutest thing. I love the pink. I do. I love the pink. You found that out in my first video when I bought a pair of scissors just because they were pink. And look at this. This has a pink spiral on it. I didn't buy it. My husband was actually quite shocked that I didn't buy it, but I thought it was cute. And here we have some other stuff that is obviously made for sprinkles. I'm not made for sprinkles. I got sprinkles on the brain now from all the food stuff, but made for slime. And they only had one package of this that I saw. Maybe I just didn't see where they were. Most of the stores had this, which makes me think that it didn't come from the liquidations and closeouts. I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. But it was a cute little pad. I didn't really like the quality of the paper, but it'd be great for a kid. And this, this would probably be the one that I would have bought if I were going to buy any more gel pens, because it had so many different styles of gel pen. And look at all those beautiful colors. I mean, unbelievably beautiful colors. And it was a really great price for that. They had a lot of them too. These are pastels, and all of the other paint sets that I've been showing you, they had mostly primary and the secondary colors. Chart markers, if anybody needs chart markers for their classroom or for their crafting or for whatever they do. Maybe you want some for your journaling, maybe you want some for, your college classes, whatever you're doing, there they are. Foam paint, I only saw one box of this, and it's obviously a toy for kids or a fun thing for kids, but that would be so cool. Another rainy day item like those other things. I didn't buy this, and I wouldn't buy this. These are also scratch pads, but $5 seemed like a lot for that. And then you've got this, or then I have in my hand this 12 by 12 scrapbooking album, and I think this one was $2. Not as good a price as the Merritt Island store, but it's so much cooler because it's got these words in it, and I'm sitting there shining it back and forth in the light so you can see all the different words that are on there, trying to make sure you can see them. And then I turned it over and looked, they're all on the back already printed out for you. Oh, well, live and learn. Most of the stores that I went into had some supply or some type of this thing. Not necessarily this exact one, but little memory keeper box, and they were pretty cool. I won't guarantee they all did. I love octopus, but look at these little markers. They're so cute. I didn't buy them. Again, I don't need any more markers, but again, husband was impressed that I didn't buy them. These are really cool. These are little stamping markers so that you've got little patterns in the ends of them. Great for journals, great for to-do lists, great for checklists. So many different things that you could do with these. And I thought it was a great price for all of those. And then there's this little embroidery thing where you're supposed to do the stitching on it. And I picked this one up to show you because they've obviously had it for a while. Look at the number of times they've reduced that thing, and it's still there. So, and then I thought this was really cool because it's they're dimensional die cut stickers. They've got puffy foam underneath them, but they're in Spanish. So if you're making cards or anything for someone who doesn't speak English, that's a great thing. And these are cool. It looks like there's 2 sheets in there, so not a bad price for $1.49 because, at Dollar Tree, you get the same thing for the same price, but you only get 1 sheet. This was a name brand item. This is the Eck chalk pen. I don't do chalk in my work. I don't do pastels in my work because I'm not conscientious and cautious enough, and I end up smudging it. So they had the pack that had just the different colors in the pen, and then they had this refill pack, and they were both $2 each, I believe. A really cool product. That was the only Eck product that I found. I did not find any other glue pens today. I was kind of bummed about that. Washi tape. I've seen this in a lot of the different Ollies, and to me, that's just a little much for washi tape, but they're really pretty. They are foil. They do have a lot of uses, and if it's something that you're interested in, by all means, buy it. So here we are driving to the next one. This is the one that's just south of Melbourne. It was almost exactly 10 miles from the one we were at. And this is double-sided foam tape, but personally, I would not buy it this way. Go look at my Temu video because my Temu video tells you how to get boatloads of this foam tape for super cheap, like 50 meters, 2,000 inches for $5. Not kidding. Go look at my Temu video. Anyway, so this was a stamp kit that's specifically for making greeting cards and invitations. These right here, they had 2 different ones. I didn't get a video of the other style of this, but they were both very pretty. And I actually like the other style better because I got 2 of that one and only 1 of this one. But this is a little set with a whole bunch of different sentiments and a whole bunch of different stickers. It's got tags. You've got all sorts of different opportunities and ideas that you can work with that. And here I'm just showing you the inside of it. They aren't huge stickers or anything like that, but they're definitely usable. And like I said, I picked up 1 like this and 2 of the other ones. And I don't think I ever even showcased those stickers that are in the background. So take a gander at those while you've got the opportunity, because I don't think I ever picked those up and showed them either, but they were really pretty. Gold shimmer vellum. Gold shimmer vellum. And I didn't ask the price of these. I didn't buy any of this because vellum is something that if I'm going to work with vellum, I want the plain vellum, and I might regret that later. These were beautiful. 12 by 12 glitter cardstock. And it's 2 sheets in the package. These were $1. I did not buy any of them, but they had so many. And I found it. I found it. I found it. I'm so happy. I found the double-sided cardstock. These were $1 a sheet. And I bought lots of them. And then there's these little dimensional stickers again on puffiness, and this really cute little set for stamping. And then this is the end of my attempt to make a video of all of the different decorating kits and stuff that they had in that particular store, but I messed up. I didn't push record and I didn't get it. This paper pad. Look at this. Bright metallics, not really all that metallic, but it's got some shimmer to it, but a dollar. This is the store that is south of the store in Melbourne. It's on the same street, but it's 10 miles south of the store in Melbourne. I don't know what city it's in, but a dollar. And they had so many of these. I bought 4 of them and there were probably still 100 left. You heard me say I don't do yarn. I don't do yarn. This is a whole little kit where you can try it out and see if you like it. I picked it up for $1. Why not? If I don't use it, I will sell it at a yard sale for $1 and get my money back. And it is what it is. So, I thought, maybe there's something to this yard thing. This card box, these set of cards in this store were $1 a box. So I picked up 2 more of these. There were a lot of them left when we left. I mean, lots and lots of them were left when we left. Oh, maybe I did showcase that package of stickers. Here it is. Really pretty. Double. You've got 2 sheets, one on each side. Lots of different ones. And then these are bigger stickers. You get fewer of them, but they were really cool. And then they had this set of stickers as well. And I thought these were really neat sentiments with all the little rainbows and all of the letters and all of the different sentiments and tags and things like that. It was a nice little pack for $1. And this is the last item. Really quick, this little trimmer. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the likes, comments, subs. I am so grateful to everyone. Cheers.